Can you imagine being so cherished by Allah that your name is mentioned in the highest heavens? That you are not just an ordinary person, but someone so special that even the angels know your name? Sounds incredible, right? Well, here's the good news. It's possible, and you can be one of them. Today we're about to discuss something truly life-changing. Stay with me because we'll be talking about the most beloved youth in the sight of Allah. So are you ready to learn how you can be among the most beloved youth to Allah? Let's get started. Bismillah. First, let's go back to an incredible story narrated in Sahih al-Bukhari. It tells of three young men who found themselves in a desperate situation. Picture this. These three men were traveling when suddenly heavy rain started pouring down. Desperately in need of shelter, they found a cave and went inside to rest. But as soon as they entered, a massive rock rolled down, completely blocking the entrance. They were trapped. No way out. No phones to call for help. Nothing. Just them and their heartfelt du'as to Allah. Now here's the amazing part. Each of them made a du'a to Allah, recalling one sincere good deed they had done purely for His sake. They pleaded with Allah, asking Him to help them if He accepted their deeds. And guess what? With each dua, the rock moved slightly until eventually they were freed. Subhanallah. These young men were dear to Allah because of their sincerity and deep connection with Him. That's the kind of youth we're discussing today, those whose hearts are devoted to Allah and whose prayers He answers. So what makes someone one of the most beloved youth to Allah? What sets them apart? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "There are 7 whom Allah will shade under His shade on the day when there will be no shade except His." One of them is a youth who grew up worshiping Allah. Pause for a moment and reflect on this. On the day of judgment, when the sun will be unbearably close and people will be drowning in their sweat due to fear and anxiety, there will be a select few under the shade of Allah's throne, completely safe. One of them will be a young person who spent their youth in worship. This doesn't mean you have to be in the masjid all the time. Worship isn't just about praying and fasting. It's about living your life in a way that pleases Allah. It's about making righteous choices, even when they are difficult. Let's look at some real-life examples of youth who were beloved to Allah. Perhaps you will see yourself in their stories. Take the story of Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him. Yusuf was a young man who faced one of the greatest tests. He was incredibly handsome, and a woman attempted to seduce him. But what did he say? "I seek refuge in Allah." The Quran highlights his patience and devotion. Indeed, he was one of our chosen servants. Quran 12:24. Now think about this. Yusuf was a young man facing a temptation where many might have faltered. But his deep love for Allah and fear of displeasing Him gave him the strength to resist. This teaches us an important lesson. No matter how tough the test, if we seek Allah's help and remain mindful of Him, we can overcome any challenge. Allah honors those who stay steadfast. Even when no one was watching, Yusuf chose Allah over his desires, and in return Allah honored him. So what can we learn from Yusuf? Self-control and remembering Allah when faced with temptation. That is how you grow closer to Him. Now let's talk about one of the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, Mus'ab ibn Umair. Mus'ab was a young man who was raised in luxury. He had wealth, status, and was known for his elegance. But when he accepted Islam, everything changed. His family disowned him and he lost all his comforts. Yet he remained steadfast. Mus'ab became Islam's first ambassador, spreading the message of Allah in Medina. He played a key role in paving the way for the Prophet's migration. When Mus'ab was martyred in the Battle of Uhud, there wasn't even enough cloth to fully cover his body. Yet his legacy as a youth who sacrificed everything for Allah remains unmatched. His life teaches us a powerful lesson. True wealth is found in faith, not material possessions. He was so beloved to Allah that his dedication and sacrifice continue to be remembered to this day. Now, how can you become one of the most beloved youth to Allah? Here are 5 practical steps. Strengthen your connection with Salah. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, The first thing a person will be questioned about on the day of judgment is their prayer. Don't just pray because it's obligatory. Pray because it's your special moment to connect with Allah. Imagine having the privilege to speak with the one who created you 5 times a day. How incredible is that? Surround yourself with righteous friends. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "A person follows the religion of their close friend, so let them be mindful of whom they befriend. Choose friends who remind you of Allah, friends who inspire you to improve, not those who lead you astray." The third is to control your desires. We live in a world full of temptations, social media, parties, and the pressure to fit in. But every time you say no to something haram for the sake of Allah, you are earning His love. The fourth is to seek knowledge. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever treads a path seeking knowledge, Allah makes the path to Jannah easy for them." Learn about your deen. The more you understand, the closer you will feel to Allah. The last one is to perform good deeds in secret. Do something purely for Allah that no one else knows about. It could be helping someone, giving charity, or making dua for another person. These hidden acts are deeply loved by Allah. Look, I know that being a young Muslim isn't always easy. Distractions are everywhere. People might mock you for practicing your faith. They might say, "Come on, live a little." But let me tell you something. You are already living your best life when you live for Allah. Every prayer, every temptation resisted, every good deed, it's all adding to your account in Jannah. You're building a mansion in paradise, and trust me, when you arrive there, you'll look back and say, it was all worth it. So, my dear brothers and sisters, let's strive to be among the youth who are beloved to Allah. Let's make our lives meaningful, purposeful, and filled with barakah. If this video inspired you even a little, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and let's spread this message far and wide. And always remember, you are never too young to make a difference. And you are never alone on this journey. Allah is always with you. Until next time, stay strong, stay inspired, and stay connected to Allah. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.